On October the 9th, 2019, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated met in Atlanta, Georgia for their 2019 biennial conference, Step Up and Lead. This powerful organization is an advocate for African American girls and women surrounding health, education, financial empowerment. I had the opportunity to sit and speak with the President, Virginia H. Harris, this year's education honoree, Susan L. Taylor, who is the founder and CEO of National Care's mentoring movement. I also had a conversation with the recipient of the membership award, Zernona Clayton. My conversation with Virginia H. Harris, you can find that over on my website, www.margotlavette.com. This week, I want to bring to you my conversation with Susan L. Taylor. Hello, everybody. The National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated is honoring a very influential lady today, one that exemplifies the coalition's value and mission. I'm talking about Susan L. Taylor. She is a, editor-in-chief of Essence magazine from 1981 until 2000, 27 years we've known this lady. She is an author, founder, and CEO of the National Cares mentoring movement. First of all, let me say congratulations, Ms. Taylor.
Honored to be honored by the coalition.
That's my question. You are influential. Everybody knows you. How does it feel? What does it mean to you to be honored by this prestigious, powerful organization? They have honored you up under education, where you have gone in and changed neighborhoods. You have changed the world, as a matter of fact. How does it feel to be honored and recognized tonight?
You know, this has been extraordinary for me tonight because I was there at the very beginning of the movement when the coalition was formed in New York City some 37 years ago by Jewel Jackson McCabe. And to see the growth and to see that it's become this national institution of devoted, committed women who are really focused on the issues that are most important to our community: education, financial surety, and health and wellness. There are no three things more important than they are. So I'm honored to be here. I'm humbled by it, and it kind of energizes me to make sure that I keep myself healthy, strong, and financially solid, keep moving forward.
Well said, and I agree. When we think about education, we think about economic empowerment, policy, and the things that the coalition stands for. They go hand in hand. As we move into 2020 and you are taking a strong stand with education, what are you hoping will happen for the better so that the strides that have been made, that they are not taken away from us as African American women and girls?
Well, I think that the most critical piece, which is not really being addressed in education, is that education budgets in this nation are really, they rest on property tax. So in poor communities, there's no equity in education. You don't find one town, hamlet, inner city area, rural area where children who are living in poverty have a really well-oiled and phenomenal education system. And until we have that, we'll always have those barriers that keep us from succeeding. So it's public policy. It's ensuring equity in education by removing property taxes as the dictator of what's invested in our public schools across the country.
And that is not being addressed. I have not heard anyone speak on property taxes and taking it away so that we can better our education system. On October the 15th, you are going to partner up with another organization, and the conversation will be on youth and suicide. Are we at flood stage, as some may say, concerning our youth and suicide, mental health? What's your take on that?
It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy that children, Black children, as young as 5 years old, are killing themselves. And the spike in black child suicide has doubled in the last decade. And so we're bringing our young people in our programs from across the country to really testify before the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congress, because money needs to be allocated for mental health, mental wellness, to ensure that children who are in emotional crisis have the kind of support that they need in order to understand that nobody gets to live without having sadness, without loss. The things that our children are dealing with today are unprecedented. And unlike the years in the past when, we always had poverty in our community and in the nation, but there were neighbors. Grandma was there to kind of pick it up if mama couldn't handle it. But today, very often, grandma's 30 years old. And so the safety net that has been in place for our children and our community is greatly frayed.
As you look in our communities, when you thinking back to when you created, National Care's mentoring movement, you look back through the years, the strides that have been made, do you feel as though there is a even greater need for your work in these United States?
Well, there's a tremendous need to dismantle poverty in the wealthiest country in the world. There's no excuse for any child in this nation of any race to be going to school hungry, to live in a shelter, to have to couch surf in order to just survive. In New York City, we have children living in subways. It's a crime.
All right. I certainly appreciate your candor. I understand why they gave you this wonderful honor, and I congratulate you once again. I know it's been a long day. I thank you for your time, and journey's mercy as you return to New York City. Thank you very much. I'm Margot Levette, Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversations, here at the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated. We'll return with more nominees as the day goes by.
Thank you.
This episode is sponsored by WOMEL, a community working to support women in all aspects of business and leadership. Her business, her voice, her reinvention. How Margot Levette became an international show host, author, and entrepreneur in 1 year.
I want to thank you for listening to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Couple of things that I want you to do right now. Go to my website, pick up a copy of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Reinvention, how I went from game show hopping to international show host, author, and speaker in 1 year. Number 2, please freely listen to each and every episode. Share them out with your family, friends, the men in your lives. And then number 3, get in contact with me, one of the experts that have been on the show, because I want to make sure that you reinvent yourself. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation.